Matt Kenseth, driver of the number 20 Dollar General Toyota. Matt, you had a strong finish at Dover last weekend, taking over the points lead. Talk about your expectations for this weekend.
Well, Pocono has not been one of my best tracks historically, so I'm not really sure what to expect. But I'm looking forward to getting out there. Last year results weren't real great here, so hopefully I'll be able to do a better job this week, and I'll be able to run decent. So I'm looking forward to getting out there, see what turn 2 looks like, and just getting at it.
All right, we'll now open it up to questions. Just as a reminder, please limit it to one question. Go ahead, Mike.
Hi, Matt.
Hi. Mike has the mic.
I don't know if you saw this week, Joey Logano visited the Detroit Lions and was asked about safety comparing NASCAR to football, and he said he felt like NASCAR was a safer sport than what the NFL is right now. I know you're a big Packers fan. I know you watch a lot of football. What do you think? Do you think NASCAR is safer than the NFL?
I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, obviously, it's hard to tear your ACL driving a race car, stuff like that. When you look at, typical normal football injuries, I mean, certainly it's safer. Tear a lot of rotator cuff shifting at Pocono and, tear a lot of ACLs running around Martinsville. So, I mean, obviously from that aspect, it's safer.
You've been around the sport for a long time. You've seen several modifications done to the racetracks themselves, the cars themselves. How much safer do you feel inside a race car now than you did, say, 15 years ago?
Well, that's hard to say. I mean, certainly they've come a long ways with safety for the cars, racetracks, pit crew members, everybody, fans, actually, everything. So certainly they've worked on it a lot. NASCAR spent a lot of their own money to do that, which we all greatly appreciate. Seats, all that stuff is so much safer than it used to be. But, I mean, it's still always there. I mean, I think, it's been quite a while. But before that, they went a long time without people really getting seriously hurt, and they kind of had a rash of them. So I think it's one of those things you always keep working on and you don't take it for granted. I mean, right now they got us going faster than we've ever went before. I mean, we're doing, well over 200, a lot of tracks. We never used to go close to that fast before. So the cars are really, really fast. You know that anything can happen at any time, but I feel like they've done a good job of making everything a lot safer for sure.
All right, up front.
I'm at Tyler Burnett, MRN. We're going to Sonoma here in a couple weeks, and of course more road courses in the future. This is kind of in general. Knockout qualifying has been very entertaining, but on road courses in general, what do you think the strategy is going to be to try to get out of the way after your lap and knockout qualifying, because there's really nowhere to go?
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of experience trying to get out of the way at Sears Point, so for me, I don't know if it'll be as big a problem, but on a serious note, yeah, I mean, when you get done with your lap and you're trying to have tape on there, and all that stuff, and to get back around, that certainly is going to be interesting for sure. There's a lot of potential of somebody being in the way or you getting in the way, more so than any other track for sure.
Steve Richards with PRN. Since you were at Roush for so many years, what do you think is going on over there as far as distractions with two guys that are in the rumor mill right now?
I honestly don't know. I mean, I haven't been there in a year and a half. And a half a year before that, I was fairly unplugged once I knew I was going to go do something different. So I don't really know. I'm not really in tune and with what's really going on over there or not going on over there.
So what was it like when you were there? Was it a distraction? Was just trying to get a sense of what it's like when you have teammates that might be going elsewhere, might be staying where you don't know?
Yeah, I mean, I think that'd probably be a better question to ask all them. I mean, it'd be to ask their teammates or whatever what it's like, or if it's a distraction. I mean, I just don't know. I mean, when I was there was no distraction. I thought everything was really smooth. I felt like everybody gave 100% right until I was done, and so did I. And we had some success. Actually, won a couple of races. After we announced that, so I don't really feel like it changes on track stuff, or at least it didn't when I was there. Like I said, I can't really comment today.
Pat Ticola, NASCAR.com. Matt, just looking at the standings, you're the points leader, but you're still searching for your first win. And then taking a look down further in the standings, somebody like Kurt Busch, who's 27th, but has that security blanket of a win. Which sort of position would you rather be in?
Which position would I rather be in with this system? Oh, you'd rather have a win. I mean, because being in the top whatever it is, I don't even know what the rule is, 30 or 35 in points, really shouldn't be a problem. So of course you'd rather have a win, at this time of year than being the point leader. So yeah, it's definitely different. It's we knew it was a radical change from what we had, but you're sitting here because you're the point leader, but you open up the paper and they don't have you in the top 10, so it's a little bit confusing at times. So yeah, hopefully we can get a win.
Okay, and right here.
Scott Walsh from the Scranton Times-Tribune. Matt, I'm sure you've probably heard they took the curbing out in the tunnel turn. I'm just curious what you think, how that's going to affect the racing through there this weekend.
Well, I don't know. I haven't even really seen it yet. I haven't been on the racetrack yet. I haven't even talked to people that tested here very much. So that curb was always a really tall one. It was real easy to kind of jump your car off it for sure. So I'm just not sure. I mean, I can't imagine you'll be able to run all the way across the flat on the bottom because it's too fast of a corner and there's too much banking and it's too smooth. But I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. So if you can put the lefts at least on the flat or something, it might help a little bit. But on the other hand, if it's better, the guy in front of you is probably going to be there too. So I'm not sure how much it'll change. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
All right, we'll go to the back.
Hi, Joseph Wilkins, Speedway Digest. You now have the points lead. Does your approach change at all now that you're ahead of everyone else, even though you don't have a win yet?
No, I mean it doesn't change at all, really. Every week you go out with the idea of trying to win. You try to do everything you can to win the race. People always ask about changing your strategies or trying harder or try doing this and doing that. But if it was that easy, you'd win every week. I've never not wanted to win. So if there was a way to force wins, you'd figure out how to force it every week. So really nothing you can do different. Just I feel like my team has been, doing an unbelievable job this year, with adjustments, race strategy, pit stops, all the race day stuff has been, I think a lot better than last year. We just haven't, they put me in position to win a few times. We just haven't had the speed to hang on and get one yet. So I feel like we're making steady improvements and we'll keep getting the cars a little bit better, and hopefully we'll keep operating like that and be able to get a couple here.
Hey, Matt. Kyle Magic, the Times Leader. Last year you won at Loudon and Darlington, tracks you never won at. How can you find that same hidden success this weekend at Pocono?
Yeah, Pocono's a really different track, So I don't know. We did win in some tracks last year I've never won at before. Certainly there's some tracks I felt like were my weakest in the past that were some of our strongest last year. I think just with the organization switch, just being stronger at certain tracks, Martinsville, New Hampshire, a couple of those tracks. So I don't know. I never thought I'd ever win a race at Loudon. So, who knows? Here we didn't really have a lot of success last year when we were running good everywhere else. Although one of the races we ran pretty good, but we didn't really have a good finish in either race. So, hopefully we'll be okay, and I can do a better job here as well, and hopefully be up front and at least have a chance.
Woody Kane with MRN. Matt, with Father's Day coming up next week, I was wondering if you would describe the best Father's Day you ever remember, either as a son or a parent.
That's a tough one. As a parent, I guess the more kids we keep having, the more fun Father's Day is, or the more special it is. As a son, I don't really remember particular Father's Days, but kind of like Jimmy, like he was, alluding to, you remember things you did with your dad when you were young. I think Father's Day to me is more about just thinking about, things your dad, did with you, did for you, that type of thing, and then, try to return that and even do better, for your kids.
All right, over to Mike Hembry.
Mike Hembry, USA Today. Matt, obviously the speeds on the front stretch here are very high. Can you compare the sensational speed here versus maybe Daytona, Talladega, and can you do more here on the front stretch as far as the non-plate aspect, as far as getting around people, passing, so forth?
A lot of these rule changes, and I think what NASCAR was looking for, if there's one track, that you'll probably be able to do a little bit more drafting or straightaway passes or moves, this would be it. The cars have more drag than last year. And, you might be able to get pulled up and make more moves on the front stretch. So I wouldn't be surprised to see more passing from the start-finish line to turn one than maybe what we've even seen in the past. Yeah. I mean, it depends. You know, when you're by yourself, yes and no. But I guess it always, Daytona and Talladega, even when you're going fast, don't typically feel very fast because you're wide open all the way around there. Where here you're doing a lot of heavy braking into turn one, and things can get fairly exciting in a hurry. And you're looking at a 90-degree wall coming up in front of you. So I'd say it definitely feels faster here.
Bill Fleischman, Philadelphia Daily News. With Jimmy Johnson winning 2 in a row now, is he in your mind? You think about the 48 team every race you go into? I think at Dover you said you've just got to figure out ways to go faster, right? I mean, are you guys starting to worry that he's going to get on a roll here?
Well, I mean, we don't really concentrate on what anybody else is doing. We just try to get our stuff better. You know, I mean, some of the stuff about, you know, Jimmy finally winning and all that stuff. What was it, 10 races? You know, he just got off the championship and he went 10 races without winning or something. So, I mean, it's not like I don't think he was worried about his job yet. So, and I don't think anybody else was really being like, oh man, Jimmy's finally not winning. This is our you know, this is our shot. He's done. You know. So, I mean, it doesn't surprise me at all. We won those 2 races, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if we won this weekend.
All right, we'll come up front and then end with Dustin Long.
Hey, Matt, Bob Margolis, Bleacher Report. You just said you're concentrating on getting your stuff better. What is it that needs to be better?
Well, I mean, if we knew exactly that, it'd be a lot easier to fix, you know. But you know, just working on getting the cars better, you know. Even when
you guys not have speed that you're looking for, is that what the main problem is?
Yeah, I mean, well, there's a lot that goes into that. It's not, you know, quite that simple. But, yeah, I mean, just trying to get, you know, there's been times we've had pretty good car balance but haven't quite had the speed. So, I mean, you always try to look over everything. You know, you always try to look over, you know, how you can get your mechanical setup better, how you can get your aero setup better, how you can get your engines better. You just keep trying to work on everything as hard as you can and, you know, just keep trying to improve.
Isn't there a fear of, like, overthinking it?
No. I mean, I think one thing that JJR does a really, really good job at is continually trying to get the cars better, whether you're ahead, whether you're behind, whether you're, you know, average. You know, we keep trying to go make them better all the time. And at least since I've been there, I've never seen him hit the panic button. You know, certainly you can hit the panic button and just start going crazy and making things worse. So I think you just got to kind of keep at that pace and keep trying to get things better. Yep.
Okay, and then Dustin Long in the back.
Dustin Long, MRN.com. Matt, a lot of talk about last night's NBA game, about how hot in the arena it was, 90 degrees. I'm sure that's an easy day for you guys inside the car to some degree. What's the hottest experience you've had in the car? What happened, and how did you get through it?
Well, you know, early in my NASCAR career, you know, the insulations weren't near as good in the car. The seats didn't fit near as good. So you're a lot more fatigued. So you're sliding around, not comfortable in there. You know, you didn't have an air conditioner. You didn't, you know, so the environment was a lot worse when I started than what it is today. You know, they've made huge strides. With the biggest improvement, honestly, is just the seats. You know, they just fit so much better, and your body stays more relaxed. You know, but some of my early races, I had some real hot ones. There's when we ran one of our 5 races in '99, I think it was at Charlotte, in the fall race. It got really, really, really hot. That was the only time I ever really got real dehydrated in a car and didn't feel good and all that kind of stuff. So learned a lot about, you know, my body, and then also learned about making the cars better, you know, since that day. I've never had that happen again. But there's been some hot ones. The first nationwide race, it was really hot, burned my heel about a size of a 50-cent piece, and that never really heals after that, so that's not a lot of fun. It's like getting bad frostbite. Your fingers are always messed up, so your heel's always messed up since that first one. But I remember the first couple of years, you'd always get them big blisters on your heels. It'd be so hot.
All right, thanks, Matt.
And also, I had a second question. Is Matt, you've had 4 times in your career where you've won back-to-back races. What is that like, and is that a sense of almost like catching lightning in a bottle in a sense, or what are those periods? Because in a lot of cases, they're 2 totally different tracks, so it's not like one thing carries over to the next week. What's that like, that type of experience?
Well, winning is always fun. You know, certainly when you win back to back, it's you know, it's a sense of accomplishment, and like you say, you're at different tracks and all that stuff. But it feels like the longer you go between wins, the more excited you are to win again, and the better it feels. So when you win back to back, I mean, yeah, it's great. You want to win, you know, each and every week. You know, it's certainly easier to feel like you're really on top of things when you can keep winning.
Okay, thanks, Matt.
Right,
Good
welcome.
luck.